Hello. Say something smart. Well, you could be here all night, my friend. Gone again. Are you guys winding me up? Because my OBS or my Streamlabs is telling me it's there. Now we are good. Right. Well, what a fucking treat for all of us. You missed the alpha? There wasn't much alpha. Excellent. +1 for boomers. That was nothing. That was nothing to do with me. Come on. Come on. I was just talking through my thought process, but I'll repeat it. Because you're here for the 1 bajillion X. I'll save that to the end then. Yeah, my thought process for BTC has been really simple. Hello. Hello, Magistrate. Yeah, from a high time frame perspective, we are basically at range highs, right? Or we were. And I did not catch a short here. I was waiting for something a bit more aggressive and a swing failure up there, essentially. But yeah, we didn't have that strong move to fade. Didn't take a short position. Absolutely fine. My next thought process is, what from a slightly lower time frame perspective is going to give me a clean bias to be bullish and to be bearish. And for me, it was this level here, around the sort of 23375-ish or 2337 level, which has really good gamer confluence. If anyone is a gamer in the chat. And for me personally, I came into the week expecting or looking for longs on a couple of alts, but equally preparing myself for a Bitcoin short down at this level here, which was an alert that I set. It went off, price just went like that, and it's basically fucked around with my entire trade thesis for the week and ranged around a level that I thought was pivotal, and it's actually not at all. So, trading theory and plan was directional. In actuality, we have been piss-assing around in a very small range. So it's not been a wonderful week for me. I've taken 2 trades, and one of them was OP, which I basically round tripped, and that was my start of the week warm-up trade, expecting some form of continuation. As you can see, OP, LDO have been really, really strong alts generally. Oh no, why is chat dead? Has my internet rugged me again? Can someone type something in the chat? Tesco Internet, no, you're good. Cool. Yeah. Yes, I can see you. Fucking technology. Good lord. So yeah, I mean, I had basically high time frame biases on, if I delete all this shit, on OP and LDO in particular. So essentially just, they've been very, very strong coins lately. We've consistently seen high lows being put in, and thought process going into the week was a long up here, wherever it was, which, yeah, essentially I didn't round trip because I actually got out of it at a +1% or something like that, which is wonderful, wonderful start to the week. But yeah, since then it's just been a little bit dull, to be honest. I'm currently in an LDO long, which I did put in the group, but the rotations have just been dog shit. They've been really bad, at least for me anyway. I haven't been playing anything like Dusk. I haven't been playing anything like Ren, because Ren is illiquid as shit. And like it's just been dull. And what's that? That in a day, a whole day in a -3 to +1% range. I'm not particularly adept at shorting in these conditions when I was just doing this. I much prefer an alt doing that, and then something like that, or some form of divergence at the highs to give me, well, that's not a decent example, but something like that, and this on RSI to give me an entry and a simple entry criteria. I'd rather be fading almost strength or strength into weakness, if that makes sense. Deleted the mic? For fuck's sake. Absolute piss. But I'm looking at some of these structures, and whilst talking about things like pretty crap alt rotations, this is probably one of the last kind of chances for bulls to keep any form of high time frame bullish bias, because we've pretty much had high low, high low, high low, and this is equal low. If we can get some form of strength here on something like OP is probably the worst example, because actually it's having a pretty shocking rotation at the moment compared to my boy / gender neutral / girl LDO. It's just yeah, OP is not doing particularly brilliantly in this rotation, is it? Gender neutral. Yeah, sometimes I'm trolling. These fucks are trolling me, man. Yeah, so OP's not doing particularly brilliantly. It's somewhere around, keeps shifting, but 0.6, whereas LDO is, clear outperformer on this rotation. And one of the reasons that I saw that is literally this, and it's literally this move up here, which I managed to catch some entries up in this. Only a couple of clips though, so it's not the largest position I'll ever be in, but reasonable. And yeah, you compare these charts here, which one is the strongest. I mean, it's pretty fucking obvious, isn't it? LDO. But yeah, this is kind of one of the last spots, I think, for higher time frame clear bull invalidations. So, I mean, look at LDO. LDO, let's zoom in slightly and appreciate that it's a little bit janky in terms of, it's not super clean in terms of closes up here, but in principle, we've got some meme lines that kind of support broad SR flips, right? For me, lower time frame, you've got janky, squint a bit, momentum divergences into reasonably good rotation and low time frame relative strength with clear invalidation levels, and higher time frame, you've just got what has been one of the strongest coins in the last month and a half or 2 months now, isn't it? Because it's the end of Feb. So it's been, how do you set up spaghetti? I will set up the spot. There you go. So yeah, this is kind of exactly what I want to see to jump on board. It's why I've got a position. It's why I'm not closing it until it gets to $5.50 and stop Zimster Chaser out of his short. Blow his account. Liquidate him. That's it. It's gone. It's over. Holding LDO from 126. Wow, nice. That's a pretty incredible entry. I mean, have you taken anything off the table? Deleting all my shit. Actually, I don't have to delete it. What I can do is this. Are you planning to play the LSD narrative? I mean, I am playing the LSD narrative on the basis of I'm planning, I'm in an LDO trade. And I'm hoping for a reasonable pop-up. Even if you just meme line it. It's not going to let me keep that. Give me one more alt run. Some meme parabola. And I'll sell it all. But no, ignoring that, if you actually just look at something simple like daily RSI, we're still reasonably above that magical 50 level. Still in a pretty strong uptrend. So as long as Bitcoin doesn't shit the bed, then LDO looks like a reasonable rotation into a breakout play. But we'll see. It's certainly holding up pretty well. I never like being in position when I stream, but I felt like I had to take it, to be honest with you. Partly because I've barely fucking traded the last 2 days. XO's going to short LDO, same as OPRH sweep. Yeah, I know. I spoke to XO yesterday, and I told him that he can short it while I'm done with it. Let me see what he said. Yes, he said it looks like a clearance thrust. The pump before the dump. Which is where we, to me to you, it like the Chuckle Brothers. So I long the pump, and then he shorts the shit out of it to zero. Dollar fucking everyone? Yeah, we'll come to the dollar actually. Dollar is strong. The pump before the dump. Yeah, so I'm not sure I can share it. But it's essentially, you know, it does look exactly like the Charlie shared with me, to be fair, which is the kind of clearance thrust, and then it just sort of dies off, and then that's it. But you do get, you know, I want to catch this move here, or the majority of it, and he will then catch pretty much all of this. LSD copium. I mean, I don't really give a shit about the narrative. I like narratives in the sense of they are theoretical value propositions that somebody in their bedroom has cooked up, and generally they appear to be working, especially in this environment where there's, you know, only a finite amount of money basically being passed between coins at any point in time. You know, Elon tweeted whatever it was earlier, fucking, I don't know, was it Based AI or some shit, and Ocean, FET, all the other AI coins just went vertical on a 1 second chart. Like, you know, tell me Capital Side is sidelined just waiting for something to happen without telling me. Where was it? This here? I pasted it in the group. It was literally a 1 second chart where they're just up 1.5%. Maybe it was that. No, I'm just making sharp now, aren't I? There you go. Spot the fucking Elon tweets. There you go. Based AI, guys. Based AI. It's exactly what you want, isn't it? Yeah, I don't see anything wrong with trying to follow this up, trying to play the next move up, final, essentially parabolic, you know, blow off top on the LSD narrative, and then we all collect our points, and then we all sit and watch the market slowly bleed to death for, I don't know, the rest of the year maybe. That's why I've been so active the first, like January in particular, and early February when I could be, because, you know, these conditions have been an absolute blessing, and even 2 days, yesterday and today, of them being, you know, pretty shite, I felt the pain. I've really felt the pain of like 1% rotations, as opposed to, you know, 10% reasonable moves. Yeah, this is looking good on LDO. So yeah, hopefully we can get some vol, given it's 1st of March tomorrow. But LDO has been my main, LDO, OP, which I think we went through, have been my main long focuses. SHIB has been on my list with the whole Shibarium launch, but what's actually happened, I wanted it to break and hold this level, essentially, and it did not at all. We got a very, very strong move on the launch of Shibarium, which has you know, been a news event that's been in the background for a long, long time, and pretty much fully retraced the whole thing. STX has been treating you well. I haven't traded STX actually, I don't think. Yeah. No, I've not. That's the Bitcoin NFT coin, isn't it? Just looked in. Did I cover DYDX? No, we can talk about DYDX. Actually, no, that had a reasonably strong rotation today, didn't it? XO's probably started short in LDO. He's going to send it to 0. He's tuned into the stream and just went, fuck Charlie. Yeah, I mean, this is, ridiculously strong. Just absolute up only. So fair play if you called some of this move. I certainly didn't. Have any of you got any Bitcoin NFTs? Because I love the fact that the Bitcoin community is like they're clogging up our chain with this pirate shit. His size is size. What, XOs? Yeah. If you you probably won't appreciate me saying it, but if you look at the giveaway that the Carlos the cat, whatever his name is, the Carlos Macro guy, do you know what I mean? You will see his name very, very high up on the list. Yeah, I'd say him. Yeah, he did like a charity raise thing, and you can go see for yourself where XO places on that leaderboard. Very generous. Better than how to buy NFTs on ETH, let alone ordinals. Yeah, it doesn't seem like a user-friendly process, does it? Someone's DYDX. Let's have a peep. I was looking at DYDX the other day. Didn't dare my own trade. Perfect. Oh, it would have been stopped out anyway. Look at that. Look at that for shit stop placement. Yeah, I mean, high time frame looks pretty great. Yeah. Broken out a big range, big consolidation. We talked ages ago about how, post FTX crash, basically all these alts were in a range, and there were some that were popping out of the range, which were basically LDO, Aptos. I think Rune actually was one of the very first ones to break out as well. And obviously didn't do as well as the aforementioned. But this, range and consolidate, breakout. The longer the consolidation, the greater the expansion, that kind of wonderful sage old wisdom. I've seen DYDX on Spaghetti actually. It's been not too shabby. But yeah, not only did I not plan for this, continuation trade past this point, even if I did, if I took this trade, obviously I would have been stopped. I guess we were talking about it last week on stream. What about block size on Bitcoin with the NFTs increasing volumes? Mate, we just draw some lines on charts, and then we press the red and green buttons. And sometimes we don't even do that. Sometimes we just look at lines, and how the lines are interacting with each other. Just the magic spaghetti lines, that's it. I know you were talking with him. But yeah, if we could just send LDO, that'd be great. Trading charts for more liquidity. Yeah, it's quite hard, and that's one of the reasons that I looked at Ren, and I was just like, I can't touch that with a fucking barge pole. Because it's got like, I don't know, 15 mil daily volume or something like that. It's just horrific. At least on Bybit it did anyway. So yeah, let's jump back a little bit. Bitcoin, I'm struggling for trades on BTC, to be honest with you. We're just ranging, just chopping, and I don't necessarily want to take anything high conviction directional bet around what appears to be, let's see, kind of, if I just delete all of my shit, including my sort of previous high time frame bias, which is this. chopping around in a little mini range. Not particularly interested in taking directional plays either side of that. But I will still use this pivot and, well, a combination of this pivot point and actual rotations to gauge whether I should be trading alts or not. It's really difficult for me here. In ETH BTC, again, from last stream, we had a reasonable stab at it. But ETH itself is still looking, God, how many levels do you need? Jesus Christ. I think the key level here is this sort of 1650 level. Yeah, former highs. Close and a hold above that. Maybe. That would get me a little bit more excited. But I want to see it. I want to see risk on manifest in an alt rotation before I start playing again with more size. Because the last few days and even the weekend, which usually the weekend is good for making me feel FOMO. So, I don't get much FOMO. Like, I don't action FOMO ever anymore. That's the difference. But on a Monday morning, that's when I come back to the trading desk and, the last few weekends, they've gradually got better in terms of I didn't miss a 40% Aptos move. I didn't miss an 80% Aptos move. I didn't miss a 60% LDO candle. Do you know what I mean? Like, those things just haven't happened. It's been getting progressively slower, progressively smaller moves, and the trend has become much, much weaker. So when I'm sat there thinking, all right, do I need to be super active this week? Do I need to be trading every day? Do I need to be catching every rotation? Yesterday and today, perfect examples that just don't need to be. Like, there are times to sit on your hands and build, and there are times to be super active and try and catch every rotation and breakout. And yeah, it's been much harder yesterday and today to get any form of momentum. So if you've done it, well done. If you were playing, was STX, what was the other one in the chat? Ajax? Yeah. Ajax was pretty clear, to be fair, but even that, had the classic golden ticket in the form of a round trip. If you played this, look at that. Whoop. Even this is that classic pattern we're talking about in terms of consolidation and breaking out. I mean, for me, usually it's the breakout, the retest, that's where you get along. But, got FET last night. Yeah, I've not been playing the AI coins as much as I could have. I imagine if we continue seeing some sort of boring ranging price action on BTC, you'll end up getting some form of decent breakout trade out of this. Are we sweeping liquidity around 20k before 30k? I'm just gonna be honest with you, I don't have a fucking clue at this point. Not on BTC. My theory coming into the week was completely wrong in terms of I thought a pivot level would be respected. I don't really want to have any form of high conviction bias at this little juncture. I would rather see us break out and move up. Then I'm a bullish. Reject off that, I'm bearish. Very, very simple. Because I think this is just the chop and grind. So could I get super excited? Something like that. Short. That. Long. Literally that simple. That's kind of how my brain's working at the moment. Good morning, Dominic. Long the 1 AM, 1 hour candle close on FET. I'm guessing that didn't end too well for you. Is it 1 AM your time? It's 1 AM. Well, 1 AM my time's there. Wow. Oh, that's alright. Yeah, that's nice. Did you round trip it? Or did you, got an 8.8% move? Lovely. Lovely stuff. Beans are on you, mate. I've got a very soothing voice. Yeah, I think if we get to some form of true bear market, there's no volatility. I think I'm gonna do either a bathtub stream, or some sort of soothing melody or story tale. Did you miss a lot of boomer jokes? Nah, not really. Not today. Haven't had any boomer jokes today. Dump it. Yeah, I'm just gonna get my daughter's bedtime storybooks and just start reading that. Charlie, you gotta sound more enthusiastic, bro. Amaranth has got her cans out, and you've got fucking competition right now. My man. That is very true. I can't compete with Amaranth. How am I meant to do that? But that is a fucking quote. I love that. I'm fucking tweeting that. Sorry, Pippy Whippy. Hot Tub Charlie stream. Yeah, we've talked about that in the past. I need like 1,000 subs to do that. People think that I wouldn't do it. That is your mistake, I'm afraid. I've got pretty much zero shame. Well, I would not do that. Are you sure? I think that you will assume I've got a lot more self-respect than I actually have. Add CKBUSD put Nan's futures. No, my friend. That sounds like utter dog shit. Right, we'll be looking at next, boys and girls. Dusk. Dusk was a really good one. I did the classic meme line on Dusk with zero intention of ever trading it. Ever. But can we claim clout for that? In all seriousness, it's one of the best. If I just jump back, it's been one of the best performing coins today, I believe. Yes. And even this was a very good sign this morning for a Dusk rotation. Well, you got 8.8% on the other one, mate. So Magic's I like the $1 level. We can take a look at Magic. Yeah, I traded Magic for a little while. It's quite fucking hard though. Liquidity was shocking. Let me just squint my eyes a little bit. Again, if we start seeing I will meme diagonal it. But if we start seeing like low time frame relative strength, Magic just fucking goes, doesn't it? I don't like particularly thick boxes, but we'll use them because they fit our bias. Traded Magic ones got fucked and never looked at it again. Think I would regret it. Yeah, there was one point where I marked it in with a reasonable amount, and I was like, oh, it's pumped. It was like, oh no, that was me. Whoops. Be your own signal. Oh, look, I can see it on the spaghetti. Oh, that was me. Great. Wonderful. At least I've got a mark in history, right? You haven't had those issues yet? what you do is you crank the leverage up to 100x. Actually, no. We take one step back. We sign up on the ref link below, my Bybit ref link, and then you up the leverage to 100x, and then you feel the power. Coldplay Magic Song plays in my ears as the piano goes to the moon. Yeah, what a dream. Please don't, Widso. I am joking. Hey, Grant Stevenson. How are you, my man? I've got to sound more enthusiastic because I'm competing with Amaranth's tits. I've kind of forgotten that. Hey guys, how's it going? I'm in Wits. Yeah. Can I get second dinner? What do you mean? What do you mean second dinner? I guess you actually work out, don't you? Because if I have second dinner, I basically go from a C cup to a D cup. Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna just. I'm not in the kind of mental state of mind where I want to do something like this. But I'll leave it there. Actually, I'll leave it like that just in case it works. Because that's what you do when you're a streamer or Twitter clout collector. You know, it is technically a high low on the 4 hour. You do have a pretty reasonable invalidation, but Magic's kind of nowhere to be seen on the old spag. Of course it's fucking moving, I longed it. Of course it's fucking moving, come on. I mean, it's reasonable. It's at least positive on this rotation, but there's nothing telling me that this is, catching an exceptional bid. So if it was doing something like this, then that would be enough for me. Fraud streamer. LTO is moving exos. I messaged him. I said, look, mate, I'm fucking streaming. Don't make me look like a cunt on stream. Fraud streamer. Yeah, mate. Yeah, what we'll do, we'll come back to this and we'll go Mikado 12. Told me. For long here. But yeah, generally where ETH is, where BTC is, and the fact that I'm just being a pussy. And he looks at 1 inch. There's so many things I can say. I'm just going to choose not to. Please tweet me so I can get some Twitter clout. Okay, Mikado, just for you, my friend. We'll save it here, and we will. What's your at, Mikado? Only if this works. If not, we delete it. There we go. If it works, great. If it doesn't work, you're fired. Watch this be the best play of the week. Yeah, I'll live it if it is. Yeah, imagine that. Shall I check your enthusiasm post? Oh no, what's going on? Oh, Mrs. always filled up your bowls. Nice. I can't share that on stream, unfortunately, because every time I stream my desktop, I end up doxing myself, which goes really well. Have I looked at STG yet? I'm too busy looking at my glorious LDO pump. Reclaiming those VWAPs. Let's go. I've looked at Stargate, whatever it's called, a couple of times. Mostly just to laugh at it. Yeah, the big problem is Binance US. Big problem for me generally is I don't want to trade stuff like this. I just want to buy it on spot and chill, and I do not think that's the point I'm at in the market right now. You know, do not mind buying essentially something like this, breakout of range, breakout of accumulation range, something like down here, or even attempt at range lows. But this, no. And STG isn't one I've had on this at all, to be honest with you. And it is because I've been trading over at Bybit, and I'm not sure that if they have perps for it or not. So a peep. Oh, they do. But yeah, I've not traded it. Yeah, it's turnover 7.8 million. Yeah, so if I was trading it, I'd be trading it against myself. How do I handle the late evening China pumps? Stay up or close trades? It depends. So if I take this LDO trade as an example, I'll kind of walk you through my thought process and how I'm going to manage it from now on. So, I've got the generational bottom, as is the case with every single one of my trades, right? So I save the market here. Now I think my average entry is, it's something in here. It's not particularly great. It basically got retested with that. So there's a couple of ways that I can do it, and it will depend on, let's see, how much source do I give? So I've been playing around with these, which are VWAPs. And Magus has been basically not bullying me into using them, but he's been suggesting that I might like to look at them. And what they're doing is they're essentially giving me some higher time frame confluence around my trend following thought process. So before, all I was doing was using a basic combination of market structure. So in an uptrend, you obviously want to see higher highs and higher lows, right? And that's an uptrend. So if I'm teaching anyone anything, then great. If I'm teaching you and your grandmother to suck eggs, then I apologize. But when you start seeing a break of market structure, it's usually a good sign to say, well, there might be some trend exhaustion here. If you've ridden up for a few percent, take some or all of it off. So that's one. The second is having some form of EMA. So you've got relatively low time frame, and particularly on weaker rotations. And where you get the quote-unquote bearish crosses is again where you might want to consider taking some size off. So, for me, I'm up a reasonable amount on this position now. We've crossed up here, and we are between these VWAPs. So if we cannot hold this one, then maybe it's time for me to just get out and say, well, failed. I mean, usually what I'd be doing is looking at BTC as well and seeing what's going on. And going, well, if BTC is going to... Let's have a peep. I know it's all very complex and convoluted, isn't it? Delete all that shit. Where BTC is right now, I don't really have any issue trying to trend follow. But if BTC was doing, not the cleanest range, but we'll just call it a range. If BTC was doing this and then started doing that, I'd be like, right, yeah, fuck this position right off, because if this shits the bed, then all alts just go in the bin. Okay? And you'd start seeing that on this anyway. You'd start seeing all of these wonderful lines pointing downwards, which they are not right at this point in time. Yeah, Magus has got a great video on VWAP, and thank you, Retired Scout, for sharing it. It isn't eggs that I teach my oh my... So yeah, this is kind of like the battle for Middle Earth now. Yeah, it gives you some idea into my thought process. Joe, you can start playing around with different ways of getting out of trends. You know, I've got basically RSI, I've got some volume, I've got OI, which I don't really use, if I'm honest. But it doesn't have to be super complex. The hardest part and the probably most difficult part to teach is executing, and executing quickly, and managing size particularly when you're wrong, if you're trying to play rotations. You're welcome, Krispy Kreme. You know, I genuinely don't think that anyone can teach you to click that buy or sell button fast when you need to. If you are panicking, if you're going in unprepared without a plan, if you are not fundamentally willing to lose some money and lose a trade at some point, that's something that, you need to take a step back on. I think when you're playing alt rotations, so if I want to close this now, and I'll go, right, I need to close this because, fuck me, what do I do? Do I just market dump the entire thing? Is this the end of the trend? What's my plan? What's my strategy? Like, panic, panic, panic. See red candle, panic, sell it all, watch it just go, boom, do that. What if it does this? What if it reclaims? If it reclaims, can I buy back? Am I taking it all off a 15-second candle? Oh look, we're getting some buys in. Pretty strong as well, comparatively. What do I do? What do I do? What's the plan? Panic. I think that's what a lot of people do. I think part of that probably can't be taught. It can be shown, but there's a point of ultimate self-mastery, I guess. Anyway, probably ranted and laboured that point. I need a non-squeaky chair, fuck me. I've actually got 6 office chairs, and they're all shit. I've got to buy, like, something decent. You need to experience it yourself. Yeah, you need to get comfortable losing money. I need some WD-40. Yeah, maybe. Actually got WD-40. It's one of my favourite DIY things to do, because clearly, if you saw my tweet the other day, I can't put hinges on doors. But I can grease the shit out of them. Anyway, we're straying so far from God again today, aren't we? So we've done Bitcoin, we've done ETH, we've talked about that, talked about ETH, high time frame, with like literally more lines than fucking anyone. But the pivotal line being 1650. Dollar looks ridiculously strong. I stand by my view of if this was a shitcoin on BSC, from a monthly perspective, everyone would have longed the absolute shit out of it. Combination of 50 RSI retest, this whole consolidation, break, a key pivot, and we had a sort of janky 4-hour divergence down here, which yes has sold off, but again it's just a simple kind of 50 retest that we are now moving up again from. So bad for risk on assets. How do I allocate stuff for next bull? Next bull? Who's gonna tell him? Who's gonna tell him? I'm joking. I haven't really thought about it, if I'm honest. Well, I have thought about it. That's a very piss poor answer. I've thought about it, but haven't settled on anything, I'll be honest with you. The massive difference between this cycle and last cycle for me is, I did reasonably well last cycle, let's put it like that. But, I obviously trade with $10, so yeah, so bear that in mind. And I think I was a lot higher risk tolerance because I wanted much higher returns because my portfolio was, as you can imagine, smaller. So when it's smaller and you kind of want/need that 100x, as opposed to, you can just make a 3x in a year and be more than happy. It's it's quite different. So, am I going to be balls deep in Dogecoin U69? Probably not. Am I going to have quite a large exposure to Ethereum? Yeah, I imagine so. I certainly want to own a fair amount of spot ETH. Am I particularly interested in Bitcoin? The only upside of Bitcoin for me is just the liquidity of it. Yeah. It's still not great, but it's a lot better than some of these shitcoins. $10 has, yeah. Who's the kid in your avatar, Charlie? Is it from a movie? Yeah, it's from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, my friend. Have you ever seen it? It's about a kid who wants a golden ticket to go to a chocolate factory. And ends up getting the entire chocolate factory. Oh, no, I probably shouldn't ruin it for you. Most people come to the dark side by cycle 3. Whispers on Maxi. Oh, yes. We can get a sailor saying, there is no second best. There is no second best crypto asset. I mean, I think the thing is that there's going to be some new coins, as there is in every cycle, whether it's bull cycle or whether it's, this echo bubble crap, like someone mentioned in the chat, we've had apt, right? Like apt, LDO, all this kind of wonderful stuff. They're going to have great cycles. They're going to massively outperform Bitcoin. Doesn't matter. It's kind of what is, how much more am I trying to say? There's always going to be a new and shiny coin, and I keep banging on about it. The new and shiny is usually better than old and stale, right? So you look at the top 100 coins in 2017, you had stuff like, I don't know, fucking StormX. There's going to be loads of dead shit, right? Neo, AntShares, blah, blah, blah. Now, they're all still about, but from a beta perspective, they've been fucking shit. All these old coins have been doing this, and they've done that. Whereas the new coins like Aptos, LDO did this, and then they fucking went like that, didn't they? And they've absolutely reversed. And the same will be true if we get another full-on bull run. It will be some new shiny shitcoin that's the 2026 equivalent of Hex, which just does this, or what is it, SafeMoon, or I don't know, SHIB, some shit like that, right? So you won't get better returns than those kind of alts. I personally don't think, but yeah, I certainly want a stack of BTC. I want a much bigger stack of ETH. Your Chisia's son. Yes, because I can even play. Willy Wonka. Yes. $2. Are you offering me $2 or what? Not sure what's happening here. Trump NFT is probably one of the best NFT plays that was available to you 2 months ago, whenever the mint out was. It's full on, just do the IQ curve meme. It's there. They're all buying them, and they're probably going to send them to infinity. I've never been so disappointed I wasn't an American. That's probably the only time you'll hear me say that. Oh, you want me to chart Sol? Actually, Sol was the, yeah, look. We are raving and misbehaving. Let's just delete some of this shit, shall we? Where's my magic brush? So does this think of this echo bubble? Yeah. Personally, it's... So I think I started off the stream by saying there were basically two coins I was looking to long, which was LDO and OP. And I did take a long on OP and got kind of cucked up here. But I managed to just get away with a small profit. And Sol was the opposite. That was the one I was looking to short. And the simple thought process behind it was... Sorry, it's very slow today. But we've had all of this consolidation up here. Perhaps this is a better level to draw in. Yeah, it's quite choppy, isn't it? And realistically, it's been one of the weakest alts on rotations. It's been one of the weakest alts for some time. This is kind of a distributive range, and if anything is going to break down, you know, my bet was that it was going to be Solana. I'm on a 3-hour chart. What's wrong with me? Even this, you know, in terms of... Let's get rid of that. Even this bounce, absolutely piss poor and pathetic. So I did not take this, sadly. I'm not in a short position yet. I'm in a long LDO still. But yeah, I think it looks like shit, to be honest with you. TM Bulls getting slaughtered. Should we go and have a little peep? Oh, what's happened to FTT? I know that's not what you said, but I guess it's just dying off. I thought I'd FTM on it. Yes, I did. Oof. Savage. Yeah, this is it. Like, structures like this, just, like... Just delete that. Yeah, it's not particularly clean. But why would you not want to just start seeing, like... strength? Yeah. A better trade, in my view, is prove that you can hold this, break out. I wouldn't play that breakout. I'd prefer to play a retest or play, you know, a break up here and some form of market-wide strength. Reverse Cronjit. Bullish on FTT. No, it was just FTT was, you know, a very random in-play coin that would just bump 20% in a minute because the Binance cartel would mention it. Yeah, do you want to short this? You can certainly try. But, Bitcoin down, LDO up. Yes, keep going, please. Yeah, not terrible if you just want to try and momentum short, but you are literally shorting lows. So you need to be prepared for a long night if you're shorting into this. Fucking hell, though. Have I made plans to accumulate for the next halving? No. In short. The thing is that like, there's so many narratives and there's so much horseshit that goes around. So, you know, are we tightening? Are we printing? What are we doing in terms of macro? What's the halvening doing? What's the Litecoin halvening meme doing? What's Sailor doing? Is he buying? Is he selling? Is he going to go bust? If we go down to 3.8k, is he liquidated? Blah, blah, blah. All this kind of fucking noise. The easiest thing for me, yeah, it needs to hire Justin as a board member. That's great. But the easiest thing for me to do is go, well, what do I want to see on a chart objectively, if I want to buy spot BTC? And I am happy to accumulate either in ranges like that, or preferably at range breakouts, because that's always one of the easiest places just to go, this is where I'm wrong. And if you get the retest, then again, it's usually, I'll just draw it. Yeah. You don't end up risking too much or having a capital tied up for too long. We've had accumulation ranges that have lasted fucking weeks, months, whatever. And it's not a comfy feeling, sat there watching your quote-unquote investment doing this. And especially as someone who's, been fairly spoilt with altcoin rotations. That kind of price action and that kind of quote-unquote investment just doesn't interest me particularly. GCR says bottom is in. Do you agree? That is a very good question. And I think it's a fucking pointless thought exercise. I prefer thinking in terms of, let's go to a random chart with hopefully very little on it. I prefer thinking of things like this. This is the market. This is your price history of BTC. It's done all this. In this range, there were people thinking, well, it must be the bottom because whatever the fuck happened there. I don't know if it was lunar, I don't know if that was lunar or quite what the chronology of events were, right? You kind of just have to think through. Let's find this. What are the scenarios that are going to play out? Like, if that's the bottom, that's the generational bottom, great. How does knowing that now help me? Because we could still do this, and it could still be right. So if you're all in here, you're still eating dick on a 20% drawdown. And apologies to anyone who likes eating dick, obviously I don't mean it as an insult particularly. But, it doesn't help me knowing that was the bottom. Not in any way, does it? If Bitcoin goes down 20%, all my alts, what are they going to do? They're going to go down 50%, they're going to go down 70%, they're going to go down fucking 80, 90%. So, useless. Useless information. Helpful information, if at that point in time, you're just going to say, this is the bottom, and it is, obviously. And my risk is always, effectively, let's zoom in a little bit. My risk is effectively that. And my risk is always going to be that. And now, obviously, you've got the discussion around evolving R, and you don't really want to retrace all that and blah blah blah. But that decision is gone. The only decision you've got is here. Do you want to be in this asset at this point in time? What's your invalidation? On a long or a short position? Or do you want to be sat in cash? That's the only thing you've got to worry about. You don't have to worry about, did you catch the bottom? Did you long the top? Okay, on to the next trade. Do you know what I mean? Maybe I'm not making my point very articulately. But I tweeted something like, do you think Bitcoin ever sees, a break of the former all-time high ever again? Again, it's just a dumb engagement tweet, right? And a lot of people just said, I don't care as long as if I buy it here, it goes to here. That's kind of exactly my attitude. How much percent tax are you paying in your own countries? If you're trading and you're in the UK and you earn over a certain amount, my friend, it's like basically 50%. So yeah, do I think that was the bottom? Honestly, no idea. But what are my personal plans? You know, I don't have an arbitrary target. If Bitcoin hits 12k, I might never buy it again. If Bitcoin hits 6k, I might never buy it again. If Bitcoin does this, dies off, hits a reasonably long accumulation range, breaks out of that range, retests it, I'm fucking all in. Great, lovely. But I don't care whether that's there, at $69, there. I don't care if it's there. Like, people have this obsession with timing tops and bottoms. It's not about that for me. It's about capturing the meat of any move. That's it. So yeah, I've absolutely laboured that point. And GCR is an incredible fucking trader. Incredible. So, you know, I'm mildly inclined to believe him, but I'm not going to risk my financial future on that. But yeah, it's 9:15. I should be in bed with a lesbian tea, watching Suits. But I thought, I'll stream a bit later today, because most of my UK or European audience are probably at work at 2 PM on a Tuesday. Yeah, lesbian tea, my friend. It's like a, what have we got at the moment? Peppermint tea with a bit of chamomile in or something. You're watching at work. Sorry. You've got $1 billion. I do not have $1 billion. I have $10. Make a peppermint tea. Yeah. But that's it. I mean, so I've tried this rotation on LDO. It's actually held up pretty well compared to the rest of the market, I'm not going to lie. But I mean, I'm not going to lie, that's kind of what you want to see. This is actually a great example of relative strength and spaghetti. Even on that rotation, it's very good. LDO fucking wants it. LDO is horny as shit. And that's the top. I'm going to dump on you now. Yeah, there was a tweet that Nomad did. Sorry, not a tweet. He dumped the market 10% a while ago by just marketing in a couple hundred Bitcoin, I think, at the time, and just basically rinsing the market. Let me be your exit liquidity. I'm sure there's a song that could be bastardized for that. What do I think about SHIB? That's a good question, actually. Like, high time frame looks pretty much like everything else. Let's just delete that. But you know, you've got a very clear. Let's not use that. You've got a pretty clean level here, and you've also got this, which is a lot. You know, I know I'm drawing mean diagonals, but it's the principle, or point in principle rather, which is just. We redo all this. It's just the point in principle that you've got lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high. And if you want to start seeing strength, excuse me, and breaking that trend, then you know you almost need to see this move. You need to see reclaim of this, which it looks like we're potentially failing now. And yeah, for me to get long, I would need to see some form of strength. Do I want to short down here? Not particularly. It's quite an aggressive short. for me. And like I explained earlier, I prefer shorting either divergences in RSI, price, momentum, but that's obviously strength and potential trend reversal, as opposed to this, which is shorting the low, which is very dangerous and anticipating a breakdown. But, to each their own. I'll probably wake up tomorrow and this will be, this will be fucking zero. Boop. But yeah, I think there's a couple of trade opportunities from SHIB. Let's delete all this shit. In the same way that, what did we do earlier? Was it FET or FTM? Longing a reclaim, longing a break a diagonal, and seeing some form of relative strength would be all good signs for me. What do you think is stable? Do I think is the most secure? God knows. I think this is like one of those. There's a similar point, I guess, to the do you think the bottom's in question, which is, do I care and can I control it? No, I can't control it. But do I care? Yeah. So how can I manage my exposure effectively to it? Well, okay, let's say I've got $100,000 in crypto. Well, I can have 33% of that in USDC, 33% of that in BUSD, and 33% of that in USDT. Am I happy with my risk allocation now? Yeah, I'm much more happy. But actually, I only want to trade $100,000 positions. I don't want to have $100,000 on an exchange. Okay, well, I'll use 10x leverage, and I'll have $3,300 in each, and that's how I'll manage my risk. Okay, well, I use 2 exchanges. Okay, well, maybe I put $10,000 on each, and so on and so forth. So not only are you managing your stablecoin risk, you're managing your exchange risk, and the other thing for me, being British and having the GBP, is exchange rate risk. So the good old cable, which I don't trade, certainly not actively. But when you wake up and the Daily Mail, wherever it was, says the UK is totally fucked, it was a good time to cash some of my USDT denominated crypto holdings out. So, you've got those 3 things: exchange risk, stablecoin risk, and exchange rate risk. And they're 3 things that you should have in your trading plan and that you should think about, is my personal view, not financial advice. Do your own research, etc., etc. What am I looking at on BTC? This is a breakdown for me. I will answer it just because it's you, Grant Stevenson. I honestly, basically no fucking clue, is the honest answer. I had this, basically this level marked out as it was a little bit better than that actually. It was kind of this as a high time frame pivot, and what we've actually done, basically it was these highs over here, and using that as some form of directional bias, basically bullish above here, bearish below here. And what we've done is just completely chop around that and basically saying, the market's saying, Charlie, I don't give a fuck about your meme level. It doesn't matter, and therefore my personal bias is completely insignificant. So what I have to do, because all we've done is chop around this range, which is ranged in this period of chop, as we've stayed relatively around the 50 on the 4 hour, and for me it makes it quite a difficult scenario to trade. So you just start drawing low time frame ranges and playing it like low time frame ranges. So you certainly can, if you want to, treat that as a range breakdown, but personally I'm just favoring more chop. And favouring more chop because obviously I'm not in a position. What about market structure we broke down below? Yeah, it's not looking particularly wonderful, is it? This is how XO said to do it? Yeah. Well, there's 1,000,001 different ways to do it, but you find something that suits you. You know, from a daily perspective, still just about holding that 50 level. But, yeah, this is a... Sorry, I think my wife's ringing me. Yeah, this is a high, low, high, low for now until we potentially break it. Did you find the 2017 cycle easier than the 21? Can't call for more money to be made. What about money to be made? I'm not making any money right now. I'm chatting to you guys. And girls and theys. Did I find the cycle easier? Yes. Much easier. Because I didn't know what I didn't know. And it was just a fun journey of discovery. If that makes sense. You know, I was completely naive during that period. And, you know, I was just buying coins that I like the logo of, or, you know, I correctly predicted John McAfee's coin of the day, which was DGB. I put my entire Bittrex balance in it. And I remember eating like a Bitcoin of slippage, trying to sell the 1 minute chart. It was, it was just wild. But sadly, when you start thinking you know, I guess, what to do, and you know, I was just basically the ultimate left curver in 2017, you know. That was me in 2017, that was me in 2018 to 2019, and then kind of, oh, sorry, yeah, it was me. Like, that was me, no. Like, that was me in 2018-19. I was just basically, I thought I had a plan, and then on a couple of plays, I was probably up here somewhere, or maybe here, maybe I'm being a bit generous. But I struggled with that, and yeah, finding a balance between all of it, you know, being able to, yeah, the less info, the better. Yeah. Yeah, coin of the day for 2 weeks, and then I think it broke at the end, didn't it? Or he got hacked, and then he just tweeted out like a coin every 5 minutes, and all the bots went fucking bananas. The less info, the better. Yeah, you get like analysis paralysis. And you know, if you're aping into some dogshit trash with $500, and $500 isn't a lot of money to you, and you happen to catch a big run, wonderful. If you're starting off with, you know, let's say $100,000 balance, and you have some pressure to make money out of it, and that goes up to $150,000, and you go, fuck me, you know, that's a lot of money to me. I need to take some off, and then woof, it goes to 10 million. You know, it's very different. So yeah. Yeah, I think I'm gonna love you and leave you. I'm gonna go watch an episode of Suits, get my lesbian tea out, and chill for a bit. I love you too. Thank you, Crypto Mikado. Yes, have a good night, everybody. Thank you for all your time. Looks like LDO has stopped me out live on stream, which is good. But what did I get? Probably 2% maybe? Not too shabby. No. Even the cyberspace. Magic Trade goes. Well, it wasn't that one, was it? But yes, it's Magic's probably gone. We'll have to delete that before the next stream, don't worry about that. What Magic Trade, mate? What Magic Trade? What are you talking about? But yeah, cheers everyone. Thanks for tuning in. We'll get some spicy action next week, hopefully. Good night.
He's BTC Charlie with his linguini charting. He loses sometimes, but hardly. He's BTC Charlie. But now he's GBP Charlie. It doesn't matter what he's charting. His trading is tough, but it's not all that bad with Charlie. He's got memes in the morning and more in the evening. It's Charlie. And when trading gets hard and support starts to lean, search Charlie.